Gun 9 on your side, live at 10, starts right now.
2 Tucson women kidnapped. Police found the daughter.
Tonight, authorities are still looking for her missing mother. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pat Paris.
And I'm Stella Inger. The daughter's estranged husband has now been charged. Now your side, Jennifer Martinez joins us now with the very latest from investigators.
Well, Stella and Pat, details are still unfolding, but what we do know is that 40-year-old Jenny McClurg was found and is recovering from her injuries in a hospital. Her mother, 65-year-old Sashiko McClurg, is still missing. According to Pima County Sheriff's Department, foul play is suspected. This man, 43-year-old Norman Schrank, is the estranged husband of Jenny McClurg. That's the daughter. They were both found in Pine, Arizona. If you're not familiar, that's near Payson. Authorities say further information led them to probable cause and an arrest of Schrank. He is facing domestic violence type charges, including burglary, kidnapping, and aggravated assault. Additional charges are pending with the Pima County Sheriff's Department. The women went missing on Tuesday after relatives filed a missing persons report. Relatives reported these two missing from their home on South Amber Rock on the southwest side of Tucson. Again, Sashiko is still missing and foul play is suspected. We'll have more details as they become available. In the meantime, if you have any indication where this woman is, you are asked to call authorities immediately. Stella?
Jenny, thank you. And new tonight, grades for Arizona schools have been finalized.
Arizona's State Board of Education released preliminary grades back in October, you might remember, but had to go back to the drawing board after a bumpy rollout. Some schools contested their grades while others challenged the formula used to determine the grades. The grades for some schools have changed since the preliminary release. For example, in TUSD, several high schools now have different grades. Pueblo High Magnet School went from a C in October to a D. Santa Rita also fell one letter grade from a D to an F. And Tucson High Magnet School jumped up a grade from a C to a B. We have a full list of the school grades in most southern Arizona school districts on our website, kgun9.com.
Some teachers will be back to work tomorrow after legislators worked overnight to pass a state budget.
That bill includes more than $300 million in raises for Arizona educators. Now the walkout is officially over, but organizers say the fight continues.
Now your side's Kevin Boughton heard from teachers who say they're glad to be back to work, but things still need to be progressed, and you'll see what they say.
The governor signed that K-12 funding bill this morning. How do you feel about it?
I don't think it does not meet the demands that we requested. I'm not confident about the funding source, but it's a first step.
How do you feel about it?
Again, what they've been saying, what's the definition of a teacher? And also, over and over, we've heard you can't guarantee 3 years in advance. All you can do is this one right now. And as they've talked, say, well, it's going to be 9% this year. Well, then they threw in TUSD property taxes. It's going to go up by 9%. What's that?
Do you feel like you won or lost in all of this?
I think that we showed that we can pull a lot of people together. So I think it's a win for that. I think I don't think we expected to win everything that we wanted right away, but I think we're ready to go the long haul, and I think I'm counting it as a win.
It makes me feel like we lost. We did. It's not a win, we lost, and that it was basically, it wasn't a waste of time, but I feel like the kids lost the time, of their education.
And something that budget deal does lack, a permanent source of funding for the promised raises. One group says an income tax on Arizona's top 1% of earners could help with that. It would include a tax of 3.46% on households earning more than $500,000 a year and a 4.46% hike on households earning more than $1 million. To get the issue on the ballot in November, the group says it needs to collect 151,000 valid signatures by July 5th.
If you love triple-digit temps, you are in luck. Here's Erin.
Yeah, ready or not, here it comes, right? Our first triple-digit day of the year. That will be on Sunday as Tucson goes for 102. We'll have a look at your full forecast coming up.
All right, Erin, thank you. Up next, the Latest on the Tinder fire, when evacuees will be allowed to go home again.
Plus, fires like the Tinder fire can spark at any time. How wildland firefighters prepare for the challenge. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side. Some people who were evacuated near the Tinder fire will soon get to go home. Tonight, officials announced they'd let those who lost their homes re-enter first and would set up a plan to get everyone affected back home as soon as tomorrow. As of right now, at least 30 homes and 17 other structures have been destroyed. The Tinder fire is still only 12% contained. It's now always wildfire season right here in southern Arizona, and firefighters must be prepared to answer the call for help whenever it comes. This month, KGUN 9 is shining a light on firefighters who protect our communities.
Last week, we showed you the Arizona Wildfire Academy, born from the ashes of the Rodeo Chetasky fire, and how it teaches new generations of wildland firefighters. Tonight, in part 2 of this 4-part series, reporter Kevin Boughton and photographer Chris Miracle follow these recruits into the field for an important test.
So it's really frightening. There are a lot of homes here.
We simply don't know what this fire will do. We've experienced some extreme fire behavior on fire.
We're gonna die, dude. We gotta get out of here.
These are the men and women who put themselves in harm's way, hiking into the wilderness to fight fires that threaten lives and homes.
How's everybody feeling today?
This is field day at the Arizona Wildfire Academy. Students have spent a week studying fire, observing it, and learning how to protect themselves from it. But this is the day they put their classroom knowledge to the test in the field.
We want to take what we've learned in the classroom for the last 3 days, and we want to put it in the dirt.
While more advanced firefighters learn how to cut down trees, rookies work on digging fire lines.
We're going to call it the training fire.
All while instructors watch carefully.
Maybe backtrack a little bit and make sure everything's 100%.
As we dove through that little drainage, there's no line there. So is the fire going to go across our line right there? Yes. Yeah, we got to be careful to tie it in.
Another try, and this group has got it right.
It looks good.
This exercise takes place over 2 days in the middle of March in Prescott. On one of the days, it starts to snow, but they don't quit. Changing weather is something they'll have to deal with on a real fire. And the wind that can drive flames also creates danger all around them.
These widowmakers, these trees are moving quite heavily.
A widowmaker is a dead branch that hangs high in a tree.
Don't forget, heads up, the weather's picking up.
If the wind knocks it loose, the consequences can be deadly.
And frankly, they scare the death out of me.
After successfully finishing field day, these novices are ready to graduate the academy.
We all start right here.
We have to keep working. We'll keep working.
Kevin Boughton reporting there. You've got to give a lot of credit to those firefighters as they learn a dangerous job.
And it's not easy.
Yep.
Meanwhile, coming up, more deputies are now jumping into a lawsuit against Pima County while their pay at the center of this fight. You're watching KGUN 9 on your side.
Tonight, Tucson police are looking for a hit-and-run suspect they say may have paralyzed a woman. It happened last Friday near Speedway in Sarnoff. Police say the victim was walking across Speedway when a 4-door sedan hit her and left her in the road. Detectives have now learned the woman's injuries may leave her paralyzed. If you have any information on the driver of that car, please call 911 or 88 Crime. An update on the lawsuit against Pima County over a pay plan for deputies and corrections officers.
Yeah, we reported in December that 4 deputies sued the county for back pay under the STEP program. Now we are learning more deputies are jumping in, bringing the total to 84. The STEP program is a decade-old pay plan that promised annual raises to sheriff's deputies and corrections officers. But the attorney in the case says those raises never happened. The county attorney's office filed a motion to dismiss the case. A judge held the first hearing on Monday. We will, of course, keep you updated.
KGUN 9 is continuing to cover Arizona's opioid epidemic.
Tonight, Whitney Clark has more about a dangerous drug called carfentanil that special agents say has now shown up in our state.
You may have heard about the powerful opioid fentanyl. Now investigators are warning Arizonans about something even stronger, carfentanil.
Carfentanil is actually 100 times stronger than fentanyl. It's 5,000 times stronger than heroin, and it's 10,000 times stronger than morphine.
The DEA reports Arizona recently had its first confirmed carfentanil overdose in Maricopa County. Special Agent Doug Coleman says they don't know what other drugs the 21-year-old was taking or how he got it.
You can get carfentanil over the internet. And so people will get this drug from underground sources in China. They'll get this drug and they won't realize what it actually is. And so they'll mix it in with another product. Sometimes we see it mixed in with heroin. Sometimes we'll see it mixed in with cocaine.
Carfentanil is not approved for human use in the United States and is only used for putting down large animals like rhinos or elephants. In fact, the DEA says only 19 grams are produced legally each year to meet the needs of everyone in the country. Going forward, Coleman says the goal for the DEA will be to track where the drug is coming from.
That's the only way that you can stop something like this. If you have a cluster of deaths or you have a death, you get the evidence that's there at the scene and then track back immediately to the guy that gave it to him.
Whitney Clark, KGUN 9, on your side.
Now, KGUN 9 on your side. First warning weather brought to you by Casino del Sol, the soul of Tucson.
The last few days have been really nice.
Yeah.
And then we're going up.
And then we have a warming trend.
But turns into Arizona.
Not to say it's not nice, because a lot of people do enjoy the heat.
Hey, you know what? I will tell you this much. This has been a wacky year with all the ups and the downs from a temperature perspective. Right. We could slide back into the 80s.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll
I didn't
take
say 70s, but
we'll take 80s.
Right. It's kind of hard to make it back down to the 70s after we've been in the triple digits for a couple of days, which we do have coming in our 7-day forecast. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there now. 67 degrees right now at Tucson's airport. Our skies are clear. We're kind of getting into that time of year where we start talking about, well, it's best to walk the dog during the early morning or maybe way in the evenings when our temperatures are cool like this. And this is going to be the case, and something to keep in mind here as we head through the forecast and your 7-day forecast as well. Overnight, 57 degrees. We won't be quite as chilly as what we were last night. Last night we dipped down into the 40s. So 57 degrees for us this evening is actually average. That's spot on with our 30-year average. That will happen during the early morning hours, and then of course we will do some warming up. But I hope you got out and enjoyed that 79 degrees we had today. 78 Wilcox, 79 Sells, 77 Nogales, because the 70s are saying, you're going to miss me when I'm gone. They are going to be gone here pretty soon, too. Here's a look at our almanac in case you're keeping score. The normal for this date, 87 degrees. And again, our high, a mere 79. But we are going to be a lot closer to that normal mark come tomorrow. In fact, I'm counting this as one of 2 days of sanity here before we enter that triple-digit twilight zone. 89 for our Friday. 97 by Saturday. That 97, by the way, is almost 10 degrees above normal. So yes, we're certainly going to head into well above normal territory here. And this is the stretch of triple digits I'm talking about. 102 for our Sunday. That will be Tucson's first triple digit day of the year. Typical Tucson, right? We're just jumping right over that 100 degrees. We're going for 102. 101 on Monday, Tuesday, 100. And 100 on Wednesday as well. So Cochise County, you soak up those 70s and the 80s while you have them tomorrow. Douglas at 84, Bisbee at 79, 83 for the Wilcox area. And Sierra Vista and Sonoyta both sharing 82 degrees tomorrow. Your Friday in Green Valley at 88, 93 for Marana. Ajo at 92, 90 in Sells, 88 3 points. The same for Safford. Thatcher, you'll be in the upper 80s too. Mammoth at 91, but closer to 89 for Vail as well as Benson. 88 Corona Day, Tucson, and 60 degrees for Summer Haven. Summer Haven, by the way, this weekend will be in the 60s to low 70s while we're in the triple digits. So it will live up to its name this weekend. Here's a look at the extended forecast. We might even hit 100 Saturday, but at this point we're calling it 97. So again, that string of triple digits taking us through Wednesday, Thursday down to 99, and some of the long range models are indicating a little bit of cooling right after that, maybe mid 90s. But at least we're not seeing 102, then jumping to 105. And by the way, those 60s and 70s, they're certainly making a comeback. but as far as our overnight lows are concerned. Pat, Stella?
Aaron, thank you. We'll take those overnight lows.
Yeah, we will. We'll enjoy those anyway. Jason Barr, U of A baseball enjoying a big series right now.
Yeah, number 7 UCLA at High Corbett Field this weekend. They did play tonight. The Wildcats stopping the Bruins' 8-game winning streak. How they did that at High Corbett. Plus, a big upset today in the high school softball state playoffs. You're watching KGUN 9. Stay with us.
Now, KGUN 9 on your side sports with sports director Jason Barr.
Baseball on Facebook. The Diamondbacks-Dodgers game could only be seen on the social media giant. Facebook, though, no problems giving out home run data or other information. That's okay. Ketel Marte and company wearing Throwback Thursday purple. Tied at 1 in the 6th. Marte bounces one through the left side. Paul Goldschmidt chugging around third. He scores. But tied at 2 in the 8th, reliever Jorge De La Rosa, not one, but 2 wild pitches that brought Dodger runners home. LA wins 5-2. It is the first time all season that the Diamondbacks have lost 2 games in a row. Jay Johnson's Arizona Wildcats hosting 7th-ranked UCLA at High Corbett Field tonight. Check out the defense by first baseman Alfonso Rivas. Full extension to make the catch in foul territory. That's good stuff. Scoreless until the 5th. Nick Quintana to straightaway center field. That's gone. Solo home run, his team-leading 9th homer of the season. And that was enough for starting pitcher Cody Deason. 11 strikeouts, a complete game, 5-hit shutout. Arizona wins 2-0. Same 2 teams. The final out right here tomorrow night. High school softball, 4A state quarterfinals at Pima. ASU-bound Yanira Acuna and Sal Point facing CDO. 4th inning tied at 1. That's an RBI hit by Acuna. It makes it 2-1 Sal Point. Same inning, Angeli Aguiar Bocage. That's another hit. Sal Point goes up 4-1 here. They pull off the upset. 5-4 win over the top-seeded Dorados. The Lancers advance to the semifinal in the state tournament. CDO, they head to the losers bracket. All right, let's talk some hockey now. The Tucson Roadrunners found another way to win last night in overtime. Michael Bunting made up for an earlier penalty with his game-winning goal. It gave Tucson a 1-0 lead over Texas in the Pacific Division Finals.
Our guys find ways, and I think we've talked enough about that this year. And you know, that was our first playoff overtime game for us. And you know what? All this is experience for our young team right now.
All right, so here we go with Game 2 tomorrow night. It's going to be Friday at the Tucson Arena. Tucson does lead 1-0. 7:05, they're going to drop the puck. Games 3, 4, and 5 are going to be in Austin, so Roadrunners can kind of take command of the series should they get a win tomorrow night. You want to do that? You want to keep playing great on home ice as they've done this year. That's it for now. Glad you're with us. I'm Jason Barr, and we're back after this on KGUN 9. Stay tuned.
People for Bikes has rated Tucson one of the top cities in the country for cyclists.
Tucson came in 5th in the rankings. The site measures categories like safety, how many bikers live in a certain city, and the network of bike trails. Tucson has the fastest growing cycling movement among the top 5. It's Portland, Boulder, Fort Collins, and Wausau, Wisconsin coming in ahead of Tucson. By the way, Tucson, 2nd of the major cities. Portland just ahead of them in that ranking.
Yeah, just look at how many people are here when we have El Tour de Tucson.
Absolutely.
Thousands and thousands of people are in town.
Surprised to see, though, that it's the fastest growing because it wasn't small to begin with.
Right.
But that's how big it's getting, I guess.
It's becoming more popular, but if you're going to do any cycling, you should do it early in the morning.
Absolutely. And you know what? When those rare occasions I am up early in the morning, that is when I see those cyclists on the road. Here's a look at your weekend weather. 97 degrees for your Saturday. And then we jump into that triple-digit territory by Sunday, our first 100-degree day of the year, and we're going to go for 102. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast now. We went from the 70s today, 80s tomorrow, 90 Saturday, 102 by Sunday. So, you know, I'd like to think there's a little something for everyone here. And those overnight lows, that's where it's at, in the upper 60s to 70.
You're so nice. Thank you.
I say tomorrow night's a good night for hockey. That's me.
That's for the Roadrunners, it should be.
Yeah, thanks for joining.